But someone had put up a poll, Protestants, are Catholics Christians? And Trent had commented, so far, only 5% of Protestants in this poll believe Catholics aren't Christians. 40 years ago, it would have been way higher. I think he's right about that. I'm grateful for apologists working long before me who have built a foundation for Protestants and Catholics to jointly evangelize a post-Christian world. Now, that's interesting. This raises some real interesting questions. For example, what I have been saying during this program about CRT, I would imagine, in general, that Trent Horn has just as much problems with CRT as I do. And so when we're talking about a lot of things, there's a lot of crossover now. What this means is, and I don't know how long ago it was I started talking about this, but as we are pushed closer and closer and closer into a smaller portion of the societal pie, the issue that's raised right here, can Protestants and Catholics jointly evangelize a post-Christian world? What does that mean? Because to evangelize is to proclaim a gospel. And we don't have the same gospel. And that was something I think everybody agreed on. Well, I'm not sure if that's the case. But certainly when I sat in the Bible Answer Man studio with Tim Staples, I think Tim Staples is still with Catholic Answers, isn't he? I haven't heard almost anything about Tim for a long time, but I think he is. We talked about this very issue. And I said then, if you and I are standing outside an abortion clinic, and this comes up a lot because our folks are outside of a lot of abortion clinics, and basically, since we believe that the gospel is the issue, that has created a real division with the Roman Catholics because we're not preaching the same gospel. And so I asked him, if we're standing outside an abortion clinic and someone walks up to us and says, what must I do to be saved? Will you say right here and now on this program that our answers would be fundamentally different? They would be contradictory answers. And he said, yes. Now that was 2000-ish. So that was 20 years ago. Trent, would you not say that we would give different answers? And if we do, how do we jointly evangelize a post-Christian world unless the evangel does not include how a person actually enters into relationship with Jesus Christ? And that's what makes me wonder. He said, this doesn't mean Catholics and Protestants should never discuss their disagreements. We absolutely should, but we also need to recognize the growing crisis of unbelief and that we can a lot from each other when it comes to graciously addressing it. I think there's probably learn or something disappeared in there, which is easy to understand on Twitter. Yes, we can graciously address it. And we have sought to graciously address Trent a number of times over the years. But I don't know how the joint evangelism takes place without so underdefining the evangel that it's no longer a coherent message. That's really the question. That's really the question.